This is Kenya News Update today. What if I told you the entire future of Africa was decided in just 2 days? That's exactly what just happened in Addis Ababa. The 39th African Union Summit just concluded, and the decisions made will impact over 1 billion people. But here's the twist. While leaders debated peace and water, a massive power shift happened behind closed doors. Coming up, you'll discover the new leader of the continent, the shocking theme for 2026, and the one demand Africa is making to the world that could change everything. Meet President Evariste Ndayishimiye of Burundi. He's just taken over the most powerful seat in Africa. For the next year, he is the chairperson of the African Union. This is a seismic shift. The outgoing chair was Angola's President João Lourenço. The handover happened after 2 days of intense, high-level talks. But this isn't just a ceremonial change. It's a signal that smaller nations are taking center stage in African politics. And the stakes? Nothing less than silencing the guns and securing water for an entire continent. The summit opened with a state dinner hosted by Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. The guest list was a who's who of global power. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres was there. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni was there. The President of Palestine was there. But here's what nobody's talking about. The real conversation wasn't at the dinner table. It was in the closed-door sessions where African leaders made a brutal admission. They expressed deep concern over persistent conflicts, concern over terrorism, concern over unconstitutional changes of government. They reaffirmed zero tolerance for coups, but then they dropped the real bomb. The African Union needs money. Predictable, sustainable, and flexible financing for its own peace missions. They're tired of relying on outsiders. They want to fund their own security. And then, the theme for 2026 was launched. Ensuring sustainable water availability and safe sanitation. Think about that. In 2026, every single AU project, every discussion, will revolve around water. This is a continent where millions still lack clean water. The goal is to link it directly to Agenda 2063, Africa's master plan for the future. But here's the part that will blow your mind. While talking about water and peace, they also signed a crucial military deal, a memorandum of understanding on using the African standby force. This is a continental army, ready to deploy. They called for strengthened coordination and operational readiness. Imagine that. A unified African military force funded by Africa to solve African problems. It's a vision of total self-reliance. And then the institutional reforms. They want a people-centered, efficient, and financially sustainable union. They reviewed reports from Africa CDC, the body that fought COVID-19. They reviewed the African Continental Free Trade Area, the world's largest free trade zone. But the biggest statement was saved for last. They reaffirmed Africa's common position on UN Security Council reform. They reiterated their demand, a demand for equitable representation. Africa wants a permanent seat at the world's most powerful table. They are done asking. They are now demanding. The implications are massive. Some see this as Africa finally standing up for itself. A continent taking charge of its destiny, from security to water to global politics. Others see a fractured continent, still grappling with coups and conflict, making bold promises it can't keep. The controversy is clear. Can Africa truly silence its own guns? Can it provide water for all? And will the world finally give it a permanent voice at the UN? But one question remains unanswered. With a new chair from Burundi and a focus on water, will 2026 be the year Africa turns the tide? Or will the promises made in Addis Ababa vanish like water in the desert? Do you think Africa can achieve its goals without outside help? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today for more breaking news from across the continent.